Imagine getting paid just for sharing your thoughts on products and services you use every day. With Survey Junkie, it's that simple. Click on the link in the video description to discover how you can start earning today by taking surveys.
President Joe Biden delivered an unusual press statement during a state visit to France on Saturday, welcoming the rescue of 4 hostages from Gaza, but refusing once again to take any questions. He stood alongside his host President Emmanuel Macron after a ceremonial welcome at the Arc de Triomphe, and a working lunch where they discussed China, trade, and national security issues. They both opened with comments on the rescue of 4 Israeli hostages from Gaza. "I want to echo President Macron's comments welcoming the safe rescue of 4 hostages that were returned to their families in Israel," he said. "We won't stop working until all the hostages come home and a ceasefire is reached." The pomp of a full state visit is almost always accompanied by a press conference, allowing world leaders to describe their discussions and announce progress towards their shared goals. But this time officials warned journalists they would not have a chance to quiz Macron and Biden about their relationship. White House National Security spokesman John Kirby offered no explanation when asked about the plan. "It was decided in our discussions, in our planning for this visit, that's what they would do, that they would come out and make statements to the press," he told reporters a day earlier. Macron spoke for 9 minutes but Biden managed just 5, reflecting on this week's D-Day anniversary, thanking his host for his support for Ukraine, their shared work on reducing carbon emissions and his hospitality. "It's a beautiful country," he said. He ignored a shouted question at the end about using seized Russian assets to help fund the war in Ukraine. Biden has answered only one question from the traveling press corps since arriving in France on Wednesday, answering good when asked how his day had been on Thursday, following ceremonies to mark the 80th anniversary of D-Day. He granted a television interview on the same day to ABC News, but the lack of a press conference will lead to fresh questions that he is trying to avoid scrutiny. He had no public events on Wednesday at all, after flying in from Washington that morning. Earlier, Macron and his wife welcomed Biden and First Lady Jill Biden in a pomp-filled ceremony at the Arc de Triomphe. The 2 leaders stood shoulder to shoulder beneath a fluttering French tricolor to honor the nation's war dead. "Proud to be here," said Biden. "A great honor. It is a chance for France to return the favor after Biden hosted Macron for a state visit at the White House in 2022. And the French media have made much of the fact that their guest is in the country for 5 days, taking in the D-Day anniversary. France is our oldest and one of our deepest allies. And this will be an important moment to affirm that alliance and also look to the future and what we have to accomplish together," U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan told reporters. They were to discuss Russia's war with Ukraine, the crisis in Gaza, as well as climate change, artificial intelligence, and supply chains, he said. They were also expected to announce plans to work together in the Indo-Pacific on port security and on maritime law enforcement. Biden and his officials have repeatedly pointed out that France is the oldest ally of the U.S., sending troops to fight in the Revolutionary War against Britain. "It's probably a good thing for us to remember that we didn't win our independence either without some foreign help or foreign assistance, specifically from France," is how White House National Security spokesman John Kirby put it on Friday. Yet that relationship comes with strains. Macron has repeatedly pushed Biden to go further in his support for Ukraine, even suggesting that he would send French forces to train Ukrainian troops in a move the American president fears would only escalate Russian aggression. And, in line with other European leaders, Macron has been far more critical of Israel in its waging of war in Gaza than Biden. That all comes with a big dose of Gallic indignation at any hint of American cultural imperialism, coupled with U.S. exasperation at French sensitivities. And then there is potentially the thorniest issue of all, trade. Officials throughout Europe are infuriated by Biden's 2022 Inflation Reduction Act. They see its subsidies for American-made products as an unfair, protectionist move that makes it